You know that feeling when you're reading a new series and you just get completely lost in it and lose like a week of your life? That's the energy I want to bring into 2025. Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chelsea and today we're going to be talking about some of the series that I would like to read in 2025. Now this list is kind of broken up into two different sections. We've got book series that I want to either continue and or finish, and then we've got a list of book series that I want to start and hopefully finish in 2025. There are 12 books on this list. Hopefully you'll find something that you also want to read, and let me know in the comments down below if there's a series that you binged this year that you think I would like as well. At the end, I will give you a few of my favorite bingeable series if you are looking for more recommendations, but let's go ahead and jump into the books that I would like to continue in the new year. First up, we have Zodiac Academy. This series I binged like hard in 2022, I believe, and I ended up getting through like 50% of Heartless Sky, and I put it down and I walked away and I never returned. And I don't know if I'm actually going to finish this series, but I would like to at least give it another shot. I feel like Heartless Sky was so long, so unnecessarily long. I would like to revisit this series and see if I want to continue or DNF it as a whole. Next up is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I read Red Rising in September and I really enjoyed it, and I was going to continue on in the series but then just got distracted by other things and I never came back to it. So my goal for 2025 is to continue this series. I know that this is broken up into like two sections. We've got the original Red Rising trilogy and then there's a second trilogy, and I think there's another book coming out next year. It's all very confusing to me, but I would love to jump into Golden Sun and at least finish the first trilogy in 2025. We have a contemporary romance, which is the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I read books 1 and 2 a couple of years ago and never revisited this series. I think I was not that into it. I don't know, everyone was raving about cowboy romances. I don't know if cowboy romances is for me, but I do think the last 3 books are not necessarily cowboy romances. I think it's just more focused on the small town and the family that we find in the Chestnut Springs series. I know that book 3, our male main character is a hockey player. I love hockey romances. I hope we get a glimpse of that. And then I've heard great things about Theo's story as well, so I would like to at least give this another shot and see if this series is for me. Next, we have the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. This is a vampires, supernatural, YA romance series. I read the first book on audio this year and it is a silly goofy time, and to be honest, like it filled the hole after I finished the Vampire Academy series. Is that what it's called? Yes, the Vampire Academy series. Crave like filled that hole for me, so I would love to finish it and just like have some fun. And if I just need an audiobook because I want a good time, Crave is the series for me. And along those same lines, I would love to finish the Guild Hunter series by Nalini Singh in 2025. I started this series in 2023, I think. It's very long. It's like 16 books long. It is like urban fantasy. It's got everything. It's got vampires, angels, vampire hunters, like anything you can imagine, it's in this book. There is like an overarching story throughout the series, which is really fun, but then there are like these core characters that you kind of follow throughout the books, and it's actually just such a great listen. I find them all on Hoopla. If I'm looking for an easy audiobook, this is the way to go. And the series is actually really good. I've heard that Sarah J. Maas gets a lot of her inspiration from the series, and you can definitely see that, but it is a little bit older. I think the books came out in like the mid 2000s, so it is a little bit cringy sometimes, but overall, like I really enjoy the storytelling, I enjoy the writing, and it's a good time, so I would love to finish it in next year. Now we're going to jump into the series that I would like to start in 2025. And first up, we have Peaches and Honey. This is a fantasy romance duology found on Kindle Unlimited. I've heard it gives Ali LaRue vibes, which I'm here for. So I want a 5-star, like wrench my heart out little duology, and I think this might hit the mark for me. Next, I'm going to be dipping my toe into Brandon Sanderson in 2025, and I would love to read the original Mistborn trilogy. I am so nervous about jumping into his world, but I am very curious. I've heard so many people talk about it recently. I know he just released a new book as well, so I'm going to be buddy reading the Mistborn trilogy with one of my friends, and hopefully we like it. We'll see. We're getting a little bit into like high fantasy and a little bit out of fantasy romance with this choice, but I want to stretch myself and I want to give it a shot. Next up, I have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This has been on my TBR for so long, and I recently found it on Kindle Unlimited, which was kind of random, but it reminded me that I need to read this series. I love R.F. Kuang's writing. I think it's so beautiful. It's so well done. I did hear this is a little bit on the darker side, which I'm here for, so I thought we'd give it a shot next year. Next, we have another contemporary romance series, and that's the Lost and Found series by Catherine Cowles. I recently read another series by her, and I was really intrigued by one of the side characters in this series, and I found out that he's the male main character in this new series that she has, Lost and Found. It's not new. It's been out for a while, but I was really intrigued by this character and his backstory, so I would love to give this series a shot. It's small town. It's got some suspense. I don't know if I'll like all of the books in this series, but I want to give it a shot because I really liked this specific character. Next, we have Kingdom of Lies series by Stasia Stark. This first book in the series is called A Court This Cruel and Lovely. I think we've got some humans, we've got some fae, we've got some magic, we've got a romance, of course, and I think these books are perfect for like a quick binge. If I just want to sit down and binge a full series in a week, this is the kind of series that I need, so I'm going to be checking this one out as well. The next one is on similar lines as the Stasia Stark series, but we're going to be checking out the Fae Spy Academy by C.N. Crawford. The first book in the series is called Avalon Tower. I think in this book we're getting humans, fae, some spies, like MI5 action. I don't know. I'm very curious about it. I want to give it a shot. I haven't had the best luck with C.N. Crawford's writing, but I want to at least try this one and see if I like it because I do love spies. I love fae. I love magic. I think this is a book that I would really like if I like the writing, so we're gonna try this one out as well. And last but certainly not least on this list is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I have been putting this series off. I don't know why. I kind of feel like, what if I don't like it? And then I'm really sad about it, but I want to at least try it. I didn't love Caraval as much as a lot of people love Caraval, but I've heard even better things about the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, so we'll give it a try. I have the first book. It's been on my TBR for years now, and I just need to get it done, try it out, and I will stop worrying about if I like it or not like it because I will actually know. And finally, I have a few books that I would like to recommend. If you also like binging series, please check these ones out. We've got the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. This is a FBI meets a serial unaliver, except he's the FBI agent and she is the one unaliving people, and it's quite good. It's like 5 novellas put into one. I think I read the whole series in like 2 days. I could not stop reading it. It was so good. Next, we have the Kindred's Curse saga by Penn Cole. This series is a fantasy romance. It gives ACOTAR vibes. That's all I have to say. The series is on Kindle Unlimited. The only con to this is only 3 of the 4 books are currently out, and we don't know when book 4 is coming. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Go in with that warning because it will leave you off on a cliffhanger and you will be upset about it. Next up is the Magnolia Parks universe. You know I love Magnolia Parks. You know I love Daisy. This series, I binged all 4 books in like 6 days. I could not stop, and I have reread them multiple times since I finished. So if you like a tragic love story, if you love a fine family, if you love Gossip Girl, please try out Magnolia Parks. And last but not least on this list is the Ember and the Ashes series. I know this is getting a lot of hype recently because they recently redid the covers, but this fantasy series is impeccable. It's so brilliant. It's so good. There's 4 books in the series. You will not want to stop reading. You will get your heart broken, but she will put it back together a little bit. So please enjoy. I love this series so much, like with my whole heart, and I wish everyone would read this. All right, that's my list of series that I would like to binge in 2025. Again, if you have any series that you think I would like, please leave them down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will catch you in the next one.